Hello, my name is Raymond Karjewski, and I am a living Christ. What does that mean to you? How do you feel about that word, Christ? What comes up in your consciousness when you hear the sound of that word? When you look at me, am I any different from you? Older, perhaps, from any of you. I have much more experience, non-technical experience of life, the actual experience of living, loving, cooperating, doing no harm to any of you. Yet, that peaceful sort of existence eludes most of you who are staunch believers in a philosophy called Christianity, a word game, a mind control project that has enslaved billions in the last 2,000 years and beyond that. In fact, the beginning of time, when one man learned that he could control other men merely through thought and the power, the energy, force. But he couldn't do the force himself. He had to con other men, just like himself, to exert the force over other men. And so began society. So began living hell on earth, all created by people like you, but not me. Yes, I was caught up in it, and I grew up in a rather poor Polish family who were slave-minded and are still slave-minded. They have not broken loose. They are not outsiders to that system of slave, master and slave, which they support with their work of their sweat. You see, they are the value producers. They are the only ones who create value. And yet, they do not see that, do not understand that. They give away the fruits of their labor to another man who has made them doubt themselves. So you give away your money, you consent to it, but you do so under the force of tyranny, fear, punishment. How did they get so convoluted? My family, my friends, my business associates throughout life, how did they get so crazy so as to believe such nonsense that they had doubted themselves from being a free man, a sovereign man or a woman, a Christ in their own right, a son, daughter, infinite intelligence, far beyond the grasp of intellectual conditioning, that which has befallen each of you. You were sent to a system conditioning school where satanic mind control was the menu. And you were the satanic slave, a work in progress. You never knew it. You worship it. You give the people who have enslaved you through thought control power But without it, they have no power. If they cannot convince you if you act the way they suggest you do through hypnotic suggestion, you and they, especially, come to understand that it's all a facade, that they have no power. But the fact is, you didn't do it. You believe the lie. The thought of patriotism for country, where you send your sons, your daughters to war. Now, I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth, for I spent time in Korea, in the military, in the army, when I was a young man, just out of school, high school. I, too, was under the grasp of mind control that encompasses all of you. Well, most of you. There are people who live and talk about love, talk about peace. People like Larkin Rose, people like Arthur Christian and Fiona Christian. They're onto something. They have something to offer, but the appeal that they have is intellectual. And they appeal to the intellect, which is the very realm of satanic conditioning. And so people react to words, the letter of the word that is spoken. And if you hear the spirit of the word, which is really where the truth may be found, but one must be sensitive enough to penetrate the satanic barriers of conditioning to find that priceless essence of truth. Truth being the Christ consciousness. Truth being God itself. Infinite intelligence, not bounded by secular beliefs or religious beliefs, not bounded by time and space. It is a non-dualistic energy, life itself of love, of God, expressing itself in every eternal moment of now. But that's not where you live. That's not where your family lives. That's not where everyone you seem to know and have a relationship with lives. You are all under the influence of satanic mind control. They call themselves government, and they call themselves religions, and it doesn't matter what the source of that religion may be, whether it be Christianity, whether it be Buddhism, whether it be any cockamamie philosophy, then Satanism, all of these things are merely ideas that have been conditioned into you, and you have believed them. Belief was your step into hell. For you see, belief is just an idea, just one of countless ideas. If you believe in it, it controls the tenor of your life, the purpose of your life. You put yourself into duality, the world of hell, the world of deceit, the world of lies, deception. That's the world that you know, and you call it civilized society. But you are. It's fallen man. You're just plain dumb. You have no intelligence, though you may call your ignorance intelligence. Take great pride in your level of ignorance, where you are at war within yourselves and projecting that conflict outwardly, so that you are at war with other people who hold different ideas. That is the nature of the civilized world, is it not? The world of exploitation, of deception, violence, of fear. All of these things you hold to yourself, and no one else is holding it for you. You have been trained to doubt who you are, and you have fallen into the abyss of intellectualism, the very essence of dualistic hell, of opposition, of division. You are confused, each of you. If you look deep enough into yourselves, you will see that what I am saying to you is truth. How do you get out of it? I've been at this thing for 20 years now, on the internet, where I've written numerous articles and more than 170 YouTube videos. And it's regarded as just as opinion. That's how easily you just sloughed off by stupid people who are ready to go to war, who are giving their money up to governments who are threatening them, are returning veterans, people who have, through their ignorance, served their country and have gone to other lands and killed other people. Collateral. Damage because they were fighting for freedom. Nonsense. They were fighting for corporate profit. Corporations who control the system which controls your mind and makes you doubt yourself, to the point where you spend trillions of money, of dollars, in warring on innocent people somewhere else in this world who are not a threat to America, who are not a direct threat to you. It's all done by men and women just like yourself, who seem to be able to pull the wool over your eyes, make you doubt yourself, support them to representing you in a fictitious system that's not based in truth, but is based in satanic illusion. That is the hell that you have made for yourselves and for your children. And you pray to an imaginary God, that another concept that has been conditioned into you, and has made you doubt yourself. That's the nature of Satanism. And whether you want to argue that point, which is inarguable, you certainly cannot argue with this man on such nonsense. For this man, this Christ, this simple man of truth, has been there, done that, and through those experiences has transcended the dualistic intellect where hell exists, and has quieted the intellectual mind. Therein life truly begins. But when the dualistic mind is silenced, then and only then is non-dualistic truth, love, God itself, made manifest in life. We are all that energy of life. We have lost touch with it because our intellect takes precedence in creating images that are fictitious, false, imaginary, superstition. They become the false reality where you will fall down and worship a graven image behind that false reality and serve a system of thought, satanic thought, that enslaves you, that regards you as their property, whose only purpose is to work until you drop, to work and support the satanic system until you take your last breath, you die. As ignorant as when you came into this world, perhaps more so. Because you are here to understand that simple concept of truth, which you give up readily, consensually. You doubt yourself, doubt in yourself. I'm not telling you anything different. The only problem is that you resent it. You resent hearing the truth about yourselves. You prefer the lie. You prefer that I pander to your ignorance. I tell you how wonderful you are. But you know you are not. For if you knew that you are not the things that are being said about you, you would be living in truth, and it wouldn't disturb you. Yet, when this Christ speaks and writes to you, the repulsion that exists in your consciousness is so great that you can't stand it, so you must rationalize it and project it onto the messenger. There must be something wrong with him, the group. What is wrong with your mindset? It has always been the source of your own conflict. Ask yourselves when you go to bed, sleep. Do you sleep restfully, peacefully? Is that possible in your life? Or do all the unfinished conflicts that you create during your awakening time of the day come back to haunt you at night? That is the source, the result, I should say, of the satanic mind. There is no peace in hell. And hell is now, here and now. It doesn't begin when you die. That's another lie that Christians believe in. We live in eternity, in the eternal moment of now. We create our world now. What happened in the past is what we created to bring us to this moment of truth now, and what we do now will create the future. That's the simplicity of it all. And the key to it all is understanding. That understanding will set you free. Free from repeating what has been drummed into you, repeated, reinforced by everything you know, by governments, by media, by religions. Those are the satanic instruments which rule this civilized world. And you are the creators, co-creators of each of you. Have within you the power of creation, the power of living the kind of life you wish. It is the conflict within your consciousness that is prominent. Therefore, you project that conflict of consciousness outwardly. Voila, you have civilized world. and the hell that has engulfed you. We're looking at martial law here in America presently. That can only happen when it is approved by millions and millions and millions of stupid people. People who have been made to doubt themselves and to allow other stupid people to represent them. It is the stupidity of their decisions that will bring you World War III, that will bring you martial law, that will restrict your freedom, take your lives, that will steal everything you have worked for in life. Hell, you can stop it now. Understand that the system is powerless without your consent. Remove your consent. Boycott. Boycott government. Boycott religions. Quiet your intellect. Be silent and know the truth. Live the truth. Be the truth. And we will have heaven on earth. Thank you for your time.